Bam. Welcome to the show tonight, everybody. Advocates for Justice Paralegal School, School of Legal, Legal School of Para. You call it whatever you want to. We bringing fire to the table tonight. I gotta practice on that fire thing. Maybe fire. Yeah, I gotta use the other hand so I don't knock my mic. Welcome to the show tonight, guys. Let's see here. We got banner running across the bottom of the screen. You guys, there's our link to our website and the new email address there across the bottom of the screen. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email them over to me. And please remember, I don't need the long version about all of that. Here, we're not here defending all of their lies. Here, we're learning how to hold them accountable with the court process and procedures. And that's what we're doing up in here. If I get my stuff on. So you guys ready to roll? I'm sure you guys saw what we're going to be talking about tonight. I think everybody's interested in that. We had a federal judge dismiss one of our 42 USC 1983, blah, 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 blah. But, and there's some things that didn't get done right, a few things. Actually, I didn't read all the list of things. But we're going to talk about the two main things. And one of the main things is making sure that you understand why you have the parties listed as you have the parties, why you have the parties there. That's one of the main things. And the other main thing is to be able to explain to the federal court judge why the state court don't have jurisdiction and a conflict of interest. And I can make a long list, but we'll just stick to those two. The main two things. Now, basically what happened to this person that reported in what we're going to be talking about tonight is one of the things that happened is that person had a bench trial, pretty much. That's what the person had. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to. I just call it a bench trial when the judge listens to you and asks you questions about why you're kicking their ass, but don't allow them to answer any of those questions. You are the only one answering questions, and then the judge is kind of twisting your answers into what they want, only because you don't understand everything that you're saying. So, and that's like learning the plays. You got to learn the plays. Now, here I try to keep it simple because, like I said, I play football and I box, and there's two things not smart people do. So I just like to keep it simple. But sometimes people allow others to freak you out a little bit, and then you're off the path of the non-conventional over on the conventional path, kind of getting kicked in the face. So we're going to help you guys stay off of that path. And we're also going to close up a couple of things here. We're also going to talk about the main thing that the judges used and dismissed our 42 USC and get you some ideas. And when I explain this to you and show this to you, then I want your idea on what you guys think we need to be doing to these fools for pulling this in your face, because the federal judge knows. And when we lay this out on the table, I think that you'll understand that you've been had. If anybody watching the show tonight, leave a comment, even if it's just say, hey, it's nice to know who is here watching the show. Sometimes when people are watching the show and they come all the time, like Nikki Ross, and they finally invest in the package. If you've been watching the show and doing everything that you should be doing, then I'll recognize your name, and then I won't take your call. I mean, no, I did not say the right thing. So I recognize that you are here and you're doing what you need to do. You're asking questions. You're watching everybody else, And so in her case, I upgraded her. And, because I said I did this, don't mean I'm going to do this for everybody. So don't even ask because then you'll piss me off. So, but I'm saying it's good to like say, hey, welcome, Paul. Welcome to the show tonight. Bleak narrative. Oh, welcome. Okay, I freaking love your. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. That's got my brain going down another road. Anyway, so bleak narrative. Welcome to the show tonight. Yeah, Aunt. The packages are on the website at winningcourtnow.com. I don't really discuss the price of them because I could say, it's like $5 million and it could be worth every penny of that. Unless you go and see what you're getting, you have no idea what the value is. So my website is rolling. There it is, rolling across the bottom of the screen right now, winningcourtnow.com. Now, if you go to my website, I'd suggest that you scroll down to the bottom, middle to the bottom, and take a look at the most asked questions and answers section. There's also a whole bunch of reviews on my website. I saved them from Google reviews, and then the attorneys got my Google My Business page shut down, so they could shut down my reviews, but they didn't realize that I saved them all. So that wasn't the first time they took that shot at me. So I saved them all. And now if you have a review you'd like to leave, you can message it to me or email it to me. I post them on my website, but I don't put a name next to it. So at this point, I have so many of them, and they're all pretty badass, and I'm proud. I'm very proud of each and every one of them. But I don't worry about, people who need to know how many or whatever, because I'm not the one doing this. I'm just the coach, and I'm providing the tools. You guys are doing the work. Well, we're going to help you step up there so you're getting past tries so you can be punching some fools in the face. That's what we up in here about. R.D. Ward, hey, welcome to the show tonight. So go and check those out on. If you're facing foreclosure, I got like several packages. You're facing foreclosure. I have a 42 USC 1983 foreclosure offensive package. And if you're facing a property tax issue, I have a property tax package. If you're facing, your question, a lot of times people say, well, I have a quick question. Well, the question's not quick. There's no quick question. So it's easier just to send you guys to go. And that's what I'm a coach. Okay, I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to tell you a bunch of crap. I'm not going to try and push you or convince you that you need to invest in my program. I don't do any of that. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And, you can go to my YouTube channel and take a look at how I roll and stuff that I have to say. And I had one lady tell me, yeah, well, you say the same thing in your videos that you say on the phone. So I'm like, okay, that's great. So don't call me back unless you get your package and you have questions about your package that's not covered in the instructional videos or the other training videos. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, the bar just, the bar got raised. But that's how this should work. Before you guys contact me with questions, you should Google them, look them up. Before you call me or email me or message me that you got this shit stuff from the judge, you should when I get shit from the judge, I'm excited because I'm like, okay, how long is it going to take me to chop this shit up? That's how I look at it. Now, other people don't look at it like, well, oh my God, people act like the damn judge is right or something. So y'all ass know the judge ain't right. And I know y'all ass know that the federal court judge is not going to help you. So Yeah, if you think the federal court judge is going to help you, you haven't watched you haven't watched an instructional video for the lawsuit package, and watch how we use the documents in the package. This whole thing is about holding these administrative fools accountable for tricking your ass because you ain't in no judicial court. Okay, you're not in a judicial court where you have rights. You don't have any rights. And they don't really give a crap about none of that until you start costing their ass money. So I'm just keeping it real. They don't care until you cost them money. You're welcome, Joseph. Sometimes, and I'm here to teach something tonight. Okay, so at the end of the show, then I'll take some questions. But I already sent you over to where you need to go be. So you need to go to the website and take a look at the stuff because I don't have time to find a link for you while I'm talking to all these other people. And I'm trying to get to what they use to dismiss the 42, how they dismissed the case and what we need to do about it. So I think that's ranking higher than your question. So if you could skedaddle after we get done over to the website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to find it. Now, while we're here and I got a foot on the bitch wagon, I might as well just finish up. The other thing is, if you ask me something, whether you message me here or if you email me, if you ask me a question that's in the instructional videos or in the video or there for you to go learn, I will send you to that video. So don't get yourself all bent out of shape. If you come on this show and you ask me about a bunch of crap that's in the videos, and I tell you to go watch the instructional video for whatever, don't get bent out of shape and say I don't answer your question. Because I did. I answered the question. I sent you where you need to be. My goal is to help you learn, not to hold your hand and not to carry you. You have to get yourself to the gate. And you do that by getting the package that you need, getting that package set up to where it's supposed to be, and doing all of those things. That's how you get yourself to the gate. And then getting the party served and all of that stuff. And my job is helping you stay at the gate. There. Now I believe I'm back up and running. So we're talking about the gate. So that's how this works. You have to get yourself to the gate, and then the coaching and the videos and all of that stuff are what you'll need to keep them at the gate. That's how we roll with that. We ain't trying to go past the gate. Now we're going to talk about what the judge used to dismiss the 42 USC 1983 package and a few things that the person needed to do differently. Now the person, bless her heart, is working very hard, and I realize sometime, even though you guys don't think I know or care, that it's an uphill battle, and you've never done nothing like this before, and all of that. But at the end of the day, I don't care about we don't have time for none of that shit. So if I get that way, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Because I know the mindset you need to be in at the position that you're in or you're trying to get to in order to make this work for you. I know what it is. I've been doing this for a long time. This is my program. So and I know because I've seen people who didn't have the right mindset. Oh, and some people who just didn't listen to me because they didn't understand, and so they ended up getting their stuff thrown out in the freaking yard. So we're also going to review the deceptions the judge uses against you guys, and I want you guys to let me know what you think we ought to do about this problem. So let's just get right down to it. The federal judge dismissed the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit and cited the 11th Amendment. So we're going to take a look at the 11th Amendment. You can pull it up if you want to. I'm going to do a screen share. And then we're going to just take a look at this. There. So let's see if we can make it a little bigger. There. So there you go, the 11th Amendment. Now, I done some research, and this is probably 3 or 4 down the page, and there were some more on here. But what you have to consider is that usually they add a little crap at the end to try and twist it up, or sometime in the middle to try and twist it up. But take a look at this, and it says right there, judicial power of the United States. The law of equity commence on prosecution against one of the United States by a citizen of another state, or a citizen or subject of any foreign state. So that's pretty much it. This was like the fastest research. So the 11th Amendment doesn't apply to anybody that's actually suing the state that they're in. And if you wanted to sue another state, you would sue them in federal court. I don't know what the hell these people are trying to. Why would there be a constitution if these fools can do whatever they want to and nobody could do anything about it? So no. Yeah, there's a constitution and there's some stuff, but the problem is that you're in an administrative court. And in an administrative court, they're not bound to give you any constitutional rights, unless you start costing them some money. Unless you start costing them some money, they're not going to give you any constitutional rights. So it looks like to me right here that the 11th Amendment is shit, and the judge knows it. They're just doing this to help them. So. And we got one more thing we're going to talk about, but I want you guys to think about what the hell should you do when the federal judge is helping them like this. So chew on that for a minute. Now let's end the screen share here. Now the other problem that we ran into, or that somebody ran into, so when people call me and they ask me, they're telling me, oh, well, they dismissed my, whatever, they email me. Most of the people email me because I don't take the calls for the lawsuit packages, but most people email me or message me. They dismissed it. And I'm waiting on checking the rest of the email so I can get, the full rundown. I don't give a shit about what the judge said. People are telling me what the judge said. I already know what the judge is going to say. That's why I made these badass documents. I don't need to know what the judges said and all of that. What I need to know what you got to say. If you got to say something, I need to know what you got to say about the judge being full of shit and why. That's the thing. If you don't do your researches, our call has no value. Because I'm going to ask you I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to say or what to write down or what to do. That's not the way I roll. So I don't think that's the way I go. And I'll tell you why. People who are used to that program are used to them getting their hand held all day. And when I say that program, and I'm not saying that to offend anybody, That program is the conventional way of learning. That's the program that I'm talking about. So I'm not, most people have the teacher and you go ask the teacher, whatever. Though, that's not the program that we're on here. So we're on a different program here. So it's going to be up to you guys to figure that out, to do your research. So when you contact me, you can say, hey, this is what they did, this is what they used, and I looked it up, and I think it's full of crap because of this. And it doesn't take a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah stuff. It don't take a bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, in my opinion, I can't talk today. In my opinion, the shorter what you got to say, the more you're on target. Okay? Because the whole program is fraud. So if the judge is ruling some shit or whatever, then I would be thinking, I wonder how long it's going to take me to pick this, because I know it's crap. You know it's crap because of what they're doing. And if I was in hearing and the judge was asking the questions without allowing the other side to answer anything or be held accountable for anything, I would object and ask the judge if I could swear him or her in. So you could ask them some questions under oath. Because they seem to have all the answers for the attorneys over there who ain't answered to shit. Okay, so I'm just saying. So I already know what the judge said. So you can just leave all that out. It got dismissed. Why? Judge cited the 11th Amendment. And the other thing they cite is immunity. Well, the Tuckers Act is in your paperwork. The Tuckers Act is a federal law that violates. It prevents the corporations from violating the citizens' civil rights because they're accepting federal funding. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later at the end of this. How we about to use that to bring some more fire to the table. So if you don't believe the judge, you should be able to tell me your story in a short paragraph and why you don't believe the judge and what you think you need to do about it. Now, when you're bringing that to the table with a question or as a statement for your game plan or whatever you want to call it, you've done your homework. You bring your homework to the table. Now a person can look at that and understand, have a little bit insight about what you understand and how your brain works and how you see this. And that's important. And at that point, someone could say, hey, you done great. This is, you're right on. Or, you done it real. But over here, you might want to take a look at this because of that. So you understand it. If you don't fully understand it, you got crap for the program. And they will pick at your ass until they kick your shit out because they know you don't understand it. And at the end of the day, for me, I grew up in the hood, so it's easy. When they smack you in the face, it's time to start smacking their ass back. People say, we're the federal judge. I don't care if the federal judge or the appeal judge or if it's a Supreme Court judge. If the judge violates my rights, then the judge is going to be held accountable. Unless they just want to pay up. I want to pay up front. No, but that's the way I see it. People, these judges down, they put their damn pants or they dress on or whatever, one leg at a time. Say, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. These people's head get way too big because people have been indoctrinated to think that them judges' heads being big is normal. Okay, and it's right, and it's not. So you should be able to tell me all of this, and you won't be able to tell me any of that until you finish doing your homework, and then you can explain what's going on. Now, if you understand that, and I'll tell you this right now, guys, if I had a chance to talk before the federal judge, I would be like, hey, I want you to order them to block the federal funding for the state. Because the state, under the Spending Act, the Constitution mandates that federal court has the right to block federal spending going to the state if the state's violating the rights of the citizens. Yep. Uh huh. So, Aunt, you're asking me an attorney question. Why don't you figure that out and let us know before the show's over? That's what I got to tell you on that. Why don't you figure that out and let us know before the show's over? The state does not have sovereign immunity. Number one, in order for someone to have sovereign immunity, they have to be a human. So I'm just going to say that for starters. The state calls it sovereign immunity when they don't want to be sued by someone that's from another state. So no. So RD, here's the thing on that. There's no immunity. Number one, the only immunity that they can have is judicial immunity. If they were in a judicial court, if they were granting you your rights that you're guaranteed in judicial court, do you see where I'm going with that? But that's not where you're at. So no, they don't have immunity. And anyway, under the clause that I just mentioned, the spending clause, they give up their immunity for violating the due process rights and a few other rights of the citizen in the spending clause. And I put together a badass freaking restraining order to address this problem. I've been throwing it on the table and waiting for somebody to come up with it, but no one has, so I did. So and I'll probably be showing breaking that out next week. The next video will probably be about that. It'll be the instructional video for using that. For using that special restraining order to block the state from receiving federal funding. And you know, guys, if it was me, I would educate myself on that and use that in your lawsuit as part of your lawsuit, right on the front page. As part of your damages, you're asking them to block the state from receiving federal funding. We need to learn how to shut their asses down. And so, with the money, the only time that they care about anything is if the money is if it's costing them money. So this is a good way if you get before the federal judge to demand the federal judge block their state's the federal funding, because the law states under the Constitution that the states can't be violating the due process and their everyday process and procedures violate the due process. Their everyday process and procedures violate your due process, and the fact that they don't have you in a judicial court, you're in an administrative court. Yeah, we went over that. We went over that, so you might have missed that. Yeah. So now you guys can see that every time, and I'll just tell you right now, every time the judge is ruling, his ruling is full of crap. And the reason it's full of crap is because their program is fraudulent. So it's crap at the gate. It's crap at the gate. I love spanking the judges' asses. So the other thing is, if the judge is getting in your face and it's a magistrate judge, then the magistrate judge doesn't have consent to be in your face without the magistrate doesn't have jurisdiction to be in your face without consent from all parties. And so that's a good reason to recuse the magistrate judge on the federal court level and add the magistrate judge to your lawsuit. Yeah, they get really, really grumpy when you do stuff like that. They also get really grumpy when you add the attorneys. If you're in foreclosure, you add the attorney's property to your lawsuit as damages. And I had a couple of people who've done that, and in the process, they looked up the property to make sure they had all the owners. So they were able to add the attorney's wife to the counterclaim and filed it in the attorney's foreclosure. So basically, you added the attorney, the state, the judge, and the attorney's wife to the attorney's foreclosure case and just jack them all up. When you add the parties who signed to start the foreclosure or the action against you, the prosecutor or the attorney, the police officer, when you add the party who signed, it's usually the attorney, when you add the judge who signed to rule without an injured party, and when you add the state who's paying all of the other people to do this to you, when you add them to their own action and file it in their stuff as a counterclaim, it causes a little problem. It causes a little problem for them. So, and then while they're figuring all that out, you get your federal lawsuit filed in federal court, and then you move all of that crap over to federal court to be connected. Because now you're not here talking about all of these lies and bull crap that they're saying you did it and paid, none of that. What you're talking about now is the fact that the everyday court process, the everyday state process, the court state process and procedures are violated your rights, and though you need to be paid. So that's it. It's simple. It's simple now. Just the fact, if you understand their everyday process and procedures violate your rights, why the hell didn't they deliver your deed to you? Okay? They register your deed in their office. There's no law that says you have to put your deed in their office. And when they registered your deed in their office, that allowed first illegal lien to be put against your property. Most people don't know what the first illegal lien was. So the first illegal lien was a mortgage lien. And the reason it was illegal, it's simple, is because, look at it this way. If there were several people who owned property before a lien could be filed against that property, all of the owners would have to be present to sign, right? Yep. So the fact that the alleged lender accepted your signature on the lien proves that you own it already. Bam. Yeah, and that's usually what I stick in the attorneys' faces when they're giving me a bunch of crap and make them go shut up and sit down, because they don't have an answer for that. So the conventional system is fraudulent at the gate, and so when you roll past the gate, you're standing in stink. So you want to keep their ass at the gate. That's kind of what we like to do. So what we're learning here is how to jam this stuff back into the judge's face. Now, there are several videos. There are several playlists that address how to handle the judge, and there's also a playlist on objecting reconsideration. The reconsideration playlist. The reconsideration playlist walks you through how you handle this, and I also have that in the instruction video. I mean, I put right in the instruction video that they're going to dismiss your stuff, and this is what you need to do when that happens. But most people stop going and learning once their stuff is filed, because they think, now I can sit down and wait. Well, now is not the time to wait. Now is the time to start learning how to punch the judge in the face, because the judge is going to help them. So if you don't think the judge is going to help them, you need to let me know so I can give you your money back. And then you can go wait, because the judge is not, no, judge is not going to help you. The best thing that you can do is educate yourself before you can communicate with me. Our communication will have more value. It will have the quality of value that you need to kick their ass if you've educated yourself. Remember, you got to get yourself to the gate. I don't have time to help you get to the gate because of the commitment that I've made to all of the people that are keeping their other assholes at the gate. So, and that's how this rolls. You got to get yourself to the gate. Now, you can ask me questions or whatever, and like I said, if those questions are covered in the instruction video, I'm going to send your ass over there to go look at the instruction video. If that pisses you off, you might want to just hit the road, because that's the way this is. I'm not here to hold your damn hand. I'm here to help you learn. If you're here to learn, then you are willing to do whatever it takes. If you're not here willing to learn, then you're here not willing to do whatever it takes. And that's going to come out in most cases sooner than later. So just want to say. The other immunity issue is BS. And when you guys are looking this stuff up, you need to understand that the first things that you pull up when you do your Google search is going more likely not going to be BS. And the attorneys put a lot of BS on there so people who are not very smart can believe it. Or for the people who aren't smart enough to take the word of somebody that ain't having their shit and that's here helping people kick their butt because they enjoy it. So if you don't take that guy's word, then you are going to have to figure it out on your own. I had people call me wanting to know where I got this from and where I got that from, and no, I don't have time for that shit. I've done my homework already, and I pointed you in the right direction. The smart people, the intelligent people, take that homework that I've done already and stay in it and have it up in these people's face. That's what smart people do. Other people are waiting for their shit to get thrown out in the yard. I don't know what they're waiting for their shit to get thrown out in the yard. Okay, sorry. But that's pretty much it. The Tuckers Act is a federal law that crushes the state court's immunity bullshit. And I put this in the paperwork. If you learn the paperwork where you can yak that paperwork in the judge's face or the attorney's face or the clerk's face or all of their faces, I don't think you're going to be having too much of a problem. I had a person email me today. They invested in the non-judicial package, not the 42 USC, just the normal package. And they also have been studying on the YouTube channel. And they said that there was tremendous help for them, and they're still in their house. So that's pretty cool. The Tuckers Act strips them of the immunity. The Tuckers Act is a federal law. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about before we kind of get any further down the road is the second thing that was the problem. And that was that this person could not explain to the judge why they added the parties the way they did. And the federal judge said, no, you got the wrong parties. 11th Amendment, whatever, all this bullshit. But the 11th Amendment could have been squashed or irrelevant had the person understood why you added the parties that you added to the lawsuit. So I'm going to go over that for a second here. The reason you add the attorney to the lawsuit is because the attorney is the one that signed it to start the problem that you have right now. There's no bank, there's no lender, there's none of that shit. It's just the attorney who signed to come after you acting as a third-party debt collector, okay? So that's simple. The attorney, you're suing the person who signed. That's it. I don't get into all that. No. If you followed the instructions, you added a copy of their lawsuit to your claim as an exhibit, and when they start that crap with you, you should be able to flip that page up and scroll to the back of that page of their lawsuit shit, which should be the last page on your thing, and say, see, this is signed by the attorney, not the law firm. It's not signed by the bank or the lender. It's only signed by the attorney. So the attorney is the one coming after me, unless you can convince my legal team of something different. It's the attorney that's coming after. Now, so why do we add the judge? Well, let me see. The judge signed on to rule and give away your property or lock your ass up. The judge signed on to rule without an injured party. Oh, the judge can do that in an administrative court and get away with it, but you're supposed to be in a judicial court, but you're not. You think you are, but you're not. They know your ass ain't, but you don't. You think you are, but you're not. So You got no judicial rights because you're an administrative court. That's pretty much it. So, if anybody can prove me. So the judge signed on to rule, and there's no injured party. So without an injured party, the judge doesn't have jurisdiction to do shit. Without an injured party, the judge has no legal authority to do anything without an injured party. So the judge signed on. Okay, so you got that. Or should I go over that a few more times? I mean, it's pretty simple. Judge signed on. There's no injured party. So the court don't have jurisdiction to do shit. That's it. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty simple. The judge, okay, you guys, you got that. The judge signed on. Now, so why do we add the state? Well, I add the state because the state is the one paying them. The state is the one paying the judge. The state is the one paying, license the attorney. The state is the one that's paying the tax people, the sub-corporations, the zoning coding office. The state is the one paying all of those sub-corporations to beat your ass down. And the state is the one that has your property deed in there, registered in their office. Oh, and there's no law that says it has to be in there. Oh, and once it was put in there, your property was reclassified for the sole purpose of taxation. And then, wait. That's the second problem. The first problem was that your shit was put in there and then an illegal lien was put on your property. Now, I can't say some stuff because, well, attorneys try to get me shut down and whatever, you know. And they got mad when I told people people could learn how to stop foreclosures without an attorney. Oh, they got real mad. So I say things a little bit different now. So I'm going to ask you guys something that I want you to think about. If your deed was not registered in their office, would the lender be able to verify there was a lien on your property? That's my other question. If your deed was not in the office, would the lender be able to verify that there's even a lien on your property? And just think about it. Back in the day, we kept our property information, a deed, all that in the family Bible. But now we have to register it in their office so that it could be protected and no one could no. Oh, wait, seriously? So these families that are facing foreclosure, that have their lien all paid, their deed all, and all the info showing that everything's paid off and in foreclosure, are in foreclosure because these attorneys went to the county recorder's office and they copied your information on the fake assignment and went and filed it in court because they know they have a 99% chance of kicking your ass because no one can afford an attorney. And if you hire one to help you with foreclosure, the attorney's automatically going to get a cut of what they steal from you to throw your ass under the bus in the end. So that's... Welcome to the show tonight, Nikki. So I'm going to finish with what I'm talking about, and you're kind of making a general statement there, but we're talking about what we're talking about. So we're going to stay on track here so that we can wrap this up. Now, it's very important to understand why you've added the parties to your claim. If you don't, then they're just going to throw your shit out. They're just going to throw it out, and they're going to act like they don't know what the hell you're talking about and all that. They play dumb. So do we. And that's why we are kicking their ass. The federal legislation blocks the state from qualifying for federal funding when the state violates the due process of the citizens. Federal legislation blocks the state from qualifying for federal funding when the state violates the due process of its citizens. So, the everyday process, we're not even talking about the court. We're talking about the state process, how they take your deed and they register it over here in their office, then they make a copy of it, which is actually totally against the law because once they process it through the Federal Reserve, it's considered a security, and they just are counterfeiting now, and they send you this copy of the deed to make you think you have control over your property, and you don't have control over shit. So here's what we got. I structured the first TRO to have federal court order the state funding blocked until policies are changed and until the federal case has been settled and the policies and procedures are changed. Yeah, I was up late last night finishing it up. So I'm going to get it on the website and I'm going to make another video. So the next video will be talking about this, and I'll have a little information about it. Now, I bring the fire to the table and I tell you up front so you can do your own stuff if you can. And the reason I do that, because I want my website to attract people, and I want people, or my YouTube channel, to attract people that will click on my ads so I can get paid. And when YouTube starts paying me the cha-ching-chang, I'm going to make sure that my prices are reduced. And yeah, so at some point, YouTube can pay me, and I don't know, maybe my stuff will be, okay, I'm dreaming too much. Wake up. But you know what? You never know. I dream big all the time. Yep, I dream bigger than this. Now, one of the other things that we need to start doing is looking at different ways to back these fools in the corner, just like we're doing with this new TRO to block the state funding. We need to be figuring out the tax situation. These people are supposed to be doing the tax paperwork they're supposed to be putting together for the thievery that they're doing, and be able to stick that in their face too. So those are some things. And I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that puts together something badass using whatever, something that you figured out is a problem, and if it's a badass, shoot, I'll buy it from you. When I say buy it from you, I will give you opportunity to join my online course or whatever you want if I think your stuff bad enough and I'd like to use it. So there's a challenge for you. Yep. Not for the people that keep asking me the questions I need to go figure out, because in order to do this, you're going to have to come to the table with fire. So, and you guys need to be doing what makes sense. Now, I'm going to post a link to the new TRO video and the package in this video, and also on the live stream section of my YouTube channel, and I'll also post it in Facebook pages. So, does anybody have any questions that pertain to what we talked about, or anything that's not listed on on our instructional video? So when the clerk tells you something, then I would want to know from what authority the clerk is speaking from, so you can go and look it up. So, and you can look up your own rules in your state and see what the following requirements are, Nikki. So all of these things are stuff that you guys are going to have to do, because I don't know this stuff. I'm not an attorney. What I do know is that I don't trust them people. So, and that's why you're stinking doing it yourself, because you don't trust them. I mean, unless you do. I don't think you do, or you wouldn't be working with me, because I don't trust them. So you guys make sure you check my YouTube channel for the next video. It's going to talk about the new package that I'm putting together, the TRO to block the state funding. Oh, I used that once a long time ago, and this is pretty exciting. I think it's going to be absolutely the bomb. So we need some kind of way to get this stuff stopped. So that's what we're taking a shot at. You're welcome, Nikki. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Nikki, you got what you need. You got the firepower that you need to come to the table, and I upgraded you because I see you here every Saturday. And I see you bothering me in the Facebook in the Facebook pages. So, that tells me that you're dialed in. And at the end of the day, my time gets stretched out. So I enjoy spending my time working with people who are dialed in, okay? Because them other ones ready to step on somebody's throat. Thank you guys for the privilege of sharing your time. I will see you in the next video.